This podcast is part of the Frederick Podcast Network. Learn more at listenfrederick.com.
What's up, everybody? It's episode 122 of Beers in the Lot. Just a quick reminder that our merchandise store is still open for orders that should make it there by Christmas. Check it out at beersinthelot.com/shop and check out beersinthelot.com for any other information about the podcast, including the Discord. A couple of Discord conversations came up in today's podcast, so check it out. So in this one, me and the guys talked about Alex Ovechkin and his recent spat of empty net goal scoring. We also talked about Tage Thompson and how he's doing up in Buffalo. And we touched on the line brawl that happened in the USA-Canada Sled Hockey game. So let's get to it and crack the beers. Here we go.
What are you drinking this evening, Aaron?
I'm repeating. I have my last of this six-pack. Lion Kugel's Toasted Bach. Same one I had last week. It's pretty good.
Gasp. Repeat.
I know, right? Repeating, yeah. The guy who cares the least about beer. Repeating. Who would have thought?
We didn't tell you're not part of the bourgeoisie.
Yeah. What you got?
I have a hot toddy this evening. I'm a little under the weather, so we're gonna have a Jordan flu game here tonight, I guess. So yeah. Actually, story was he didn't have the flu. He had like 17 Domino's pizzas, so it actually wasn't like flu. He was just feeling like dog shit. But yeah. Riggs, what do you got this evening?
He looks like he's having a foam party over there.
Yeah, I poured that really heavy. I was trying to get that good pouring sound.
Oh, yeah.
It's a college party. It's all foam.
I have, it looks like a collaboration with Bustin' Boards and Key City Brewing called Bail Money. I think Bustin' Boards is a skateboard.
Or is that like
company.
karate? Like they just bust wooden planks?
No, there's like, so it's called Bail Money. It's like a piggy bank that has a skateboard smashing through it. It's
kind of like the karate one, though. Like,
karate.
I picture like some senseis like breaking boards and then crushing beers.
Says, break it open, live free. So
skateboarding is not a crime, you know.
That's right.
Skate
or die. Skate or die. What do you have, Daniel?
I also have a retread, but I'm trying to clear my fridge because I'm going back up to Massachusetts, so I may be coming back with more beer. So I have my Black Flag Brewing Company.
Right.
Charging Malaysia.
Yeah. Charging Malaysia.
See, my retread was from 10 weeks ago, though.
Yeah, that was a while back, yeah.
All right. Let's get into some real shit, though.
Let's talk some hockey.
What? There's hockey going on?
What
hockey?
game are
I
you
can
watching?
see some on your screen.
I'm watching Calgary.
Directly to your left.
I'm watching some Short Kings. I'm watching Marty St. Louis,
Cole
Caulfield.
Did you watch Cole Caulfield get absolutely blown up
Yes.
early in the game?
I did.
Oh, my
I
God.
saw that. But you know what, though? Like, that's going to happen.
Oh,
It's going to happen.
yeah.
By the way,
whatever.
it wasn't intentional. It was totally incidental. They were just,
yeah.
they were both sort of like curling opposite
Yeah.
directions,
Exactly.
Trailing a play, and he just ran into the flames.
Those
dude. I don't
those
even
could
know who
end
it
up
was.
way worse. So, like,
Oh yeah. It
mean-
it looked like he could have bounced his head off the ice,
Ooh,
so that would be bad. But he did get up, so
yeah.
yeah.
So we're good. Short Kings stay Short King. We're
What
fine.
about the rash of future Hall of Famer, future greatest goal scorer of all time, empty net goals the last week and a half?
We're launching a full-scale task force into it. Because I believe, what is it? Ovechkin has 50...
Ovi has 53.
53. Gretzky has 56. 56. So, like, technically, they're both still the same amount away from the record, but we need the record books to reflect the appropriate number. So, don't worry. If he gets close to the Gretzky number, I'm going down there. I'll post a big sign with the correct goal totals. And I'm going to put something like, change my mind. Like, go for it. But now it's like even a thing because one guy I play with in another league, like a Wednesday night skate we do, and he even mentioned something last night right after we skated pickup. He goes, "Oh God, Johnny's gonna flip. Ovi got another empty net goal, and I just started shaking my head. I'm like, this is ridiculous. Like this, it's like league-wide collusion. I mean, it's almost as bad as Gary Bettman with the Arizona situation. Like, we got to deal with that. And did you guys see what happened? That fight last week?
Yes.
Oh, at Mullet Arena? Yeah.
Some cat got a piece of his finger bit off.
Yeah, but
Like
okay.
felons and cannibals,
Yeah,
they're
but
just letting them in.
Who was
They're not
now,
checking IDs or backgrounds.
Look, the Bruins were in town, so there were a lot of Boston fans there, and
A lot
they're
of
not.
scallywags.
They're
A lot of street toughs.
Yeah,
Oh, just
they're-
street toughs.
Street toughs.
They're not necessarily known as being the most polite visiting fans.
They're not exactly ruly. They're more unruly.
They're saying, so you're saying Jem and the florist went to the game? Like, you're saying, like, yeah. And if you don't
Who's
get that
Cobb gonna
reference,
take?
yeah. And if you don't get, yeah, that's exactly how they were. They're like, hey, you want to go to the game at the Mullet Arena? Who's call we gonna take? Like, yeah, exactly.
We're gonna hurt some people, and you can't ask why.
Yeah, exactly.
Maybe I'll eat a finger.
Exactly.
So,
Well, the word, yeah.
so what I'm saying is
Exactly.
that the person who was the cannibal may have been a Boston Bruins fan. So you may be pinning this on Coyotes fans. It may be unwarranted.
It was probably Jack Edwards.
It probably
Maybe
was.
I think it was Jack Edwards.
It probably was.
Like
He seems like an angry person.
yeah. Yeah. He won't comment on that, but he's going to comment on poor Pat Maroon.
Yeah.
And we joke about it, but like we give him 100% respect. He's a professional athlete. He won 3 straight Stanley Cups and went to 4 straight Stanley Cups total. Like, dude did his job. He's a professional hockey player. Come on. Shut up, Jack. Dink. God.
So we've covered the mullet brawl, Jack Edwards,
Rolling through.
and the empty net
we're just
goals.
We're just
OV
hitting,
empty net goals in like 7
just
minutes.
hitting stuff. It's that time of the year. That time of the year.
I want Ovechkin to break the Gordie Howe record with only empty net goals going forward now. Just because, and I'm team no empty net goal. Everybody knows this. There's video evidence.
Video evidence.
But just so it pisses John off. That's what I want.
You're the Joker right now. You're an agent of chaos. That's
I'm
exactly
an
what
agent
you
of
want.
chaos. Yeah.
Yeah.
Do I look like I have a plan?
Yeah. You don't have a plan. You don't look like a guy that has a plan. I mean, I'm happy for Ovi. I hope he gets it. I just want him to do it the right way.
Now,
There's a right way to do it.
He did say that he wants to break Gretzky's record, in his words, the right way. But what he said was not as a third liner getting 8 to 10 minutes a night. He wants to be
Yeah, he wants to play top
he wants
6
top
role.
6 minutes. He wants a top 6 role and break it that way. That's how he wants to do it. So
I mean,
I thought that was interesting.
That kind of see him saying that, it's almost like maybe he's very in tune with his body, and he kind of, I mean, it's interesting because you see like Erik Karlsson's having this resurgence, and he did that really good interview with Elliot Friedman like maybe 2 weeks ago, and he said essentially like, my body is 100% healthy. I have a lot more games left. Ovechkin saying that almost makes me think that he's like, I got stuff in the tank, but like Father Time's undefeated, so like a lot of stuff can happen, and I'm sure there's
in him.
I would think so, but why would you say that?
I think it's also a cue to the GM that, hey, you still need to surround me with complementary players. Like don't go into a full rebuild, even though they're going to have to go into a full rebuild during the remaining years of his contract. I think it's a message to the front office, really.
Hopefully it is.
I'm going to go out and just say to me, he's the greatest goal scorer of all time already. And I say that
I'm in the same boat. Yeah.
because of how good the goalies are now.
Right.
How good the defensemen are now. How fast the game is now. Like, I think the game is a lot more complex than it was back in the day. I mean, you don't get the clutching and the grabbing and stuff like that, but just seeing the goalies from when Gretzky was playing to now,
Yeah.
like unreal.
Stark
Like,
contrast.
oh my
yeah.
God, yeah. So I think I'm gonna say even if he doesn't break his record, but I think he goes on and breaks it and then some.
Bar an injury or something.
Yeah.
I mean, this is the era
yeah.
debate again, which
Yeah.
I mean, I agree with you. I mean, if he was to get injured or something and couldn't play it from now on or whatever, he in my mind he's the greatest goal scorer probably ever.
And there's a very important distinction there, right? It's if you're gonna say it, greatest goal scorer, not greatest player, right? There's
Yes,
two
yes.
different, very different,
Totally
things, right?
different.
right.
Right. So if you want to have the greatest player discussion, then you start to talk about, well, if Gretzky didn't score a single goal in his career, he would
He'd still
still
have more
have the
points.
all-time points
Right.
lead.
Just on
So-
assists. Yeah.
Right.
I don't think
So-
I don't think anybody will ever like anytime you ask somebody name your top 5 hockey players, Gretzky is number 1 for everybody.
Right.
Like
Mhm.
hands down, it's name your 2 through 5 hockey players
But-
is what that question really is.
But that
Right.
question, like best player, I think that is more biased than saying who's the best goal scorer, who's the best passer.
Sure.
Because when you get into like player, it's like, you got the people that grew up, kind of like my dad and whatnot, who's like Ken Dryden was fantastic, Gretzky was fantastic, or was special. Eric and I were talking about before we kind of started, like how my dad loved Guy Lafleur, like, that's a very biased kind of like your visual eyeballs on it to some extent. And also too, like
It
when you
is,
grew up.
but again, it's only biased for the 2 through infinity. Nobody
because
will
like
say
I
that
could,
Gretzky
you can make
was
an
not
argument.
the greatest player ever.
You can make an argument for like, I would say
Lemieux,
or
if his
How-
career wasn't cut short.
yeah, you can make an
Maybe.
argument for all those guys.
But that's
I don't
a
know.
huge what if.
That's a what
Exactly.
if, right?
There's a
right.
lot of-
What if.
Yeah.
I think anytime you bring in like, who's the greatest player of all time, there's a lot of what ifs.
I don't know. The guy's got a nickname of the Great One. I don't know. seems kind of obvious to me.
Yeah, but like,
like Eric just said, you remove all of his goals, he's still the number 1 scorer of all time. I mean, it doesn't seem like there's a question. If you ask anybody, I don't know. It doesn't seem that up to interpretation to me. But maybe it's just me.
see, I'm
Well,
a
you
little
can make-
more like finicky
Well, I
on
think.
it.
Well, John, you said you can make a case for it, right?
You can make a case for anybody,
But
not
Gretzky,
anybody,
I mean,
not
come
like
on.
not like
Anybody?
Tikkanen, not
Anybody.
Tikkanen. He's a stain on the league practically. So like, we don't need to talk about that guy. But
You were just talking
everybody's getting strays tonight. So much shrapnel. No, but like, all right. So you could legitimately go like, all right. So Gretzky, if you're using the parameters of like points, goals,
Oh, stats, yeah.
stats, sure. But then there's like intangibles to it to some extent too. Like you could go the what if case of Lemieux. So you like only take his just playing time, and also too like Gretzky had a big impact on the game itself because when he went to LA,
Well, he
he
changed
got
the game, yeah.
he got $1 million deals to like go to LA, which for the NHL was a big deal at that point. I mean, still, I think I mentioned it a little while ago, like Pat Mahomes in the NFL makes like 40 million a year. F1 drivers make like, I think some of the lower funded teams still, those guys are making 10, 12 million a year. And then if you're like on Red
Damn.
Bull, McLaren, Mercedes, those guys are making 20 plus endorsements on the side. So like what NHL players make in the grand scheme of sports, it's peanuts. Important to the game, yes, but like Gretzky made a big jump, so that helps. And then you look at like Lemieux, kind of like where I see it from to some extent. Like he had a massive impact on Western PA, specifically. Western PA,
Yeah.
100%.
Western
Gretzky,
PA isn't
whole
hockey,
game, yeah.
though.
No,
I mean,
it's
it's
not. But
part
like
of
that's what I'm
hockey,
saying.
but-
Where like you look through the lens of like the best player, like depending on your team and where you grew up or who you watch, like that's your lens. That's what you're looking. Like yeah,
Sure,
the whole
but
game is
Gretzky-
important.
Gretzky
But, like,
played
meh.
in Central Canada or Northern Canada, whatever. He played in
Played
St.
in-
Louis,
played in
Central
Alberta.
America, like Central United States, whatever.
Central
Edmonton's
America.
like Central
Okay,
America.
he
yeah.
played-
Central United States, Western United States,
what?
Eastern United
He
States.
played in St. Louis for like 6 games. Stop.
He was there.
Stop.
He was there.
Like,
No,
he was
no,
there
okay. Okay. So
Stop.
here's
This is what I'm saying is that maybe he wasn't there long enough to be iconic for a St. Louis fan or whatever, but the hype surrounding him was there.
if you're gonna
Yes.
if you're gonna include impacts to the game in the equation, Gretzky goes to LA, which is it's still a non-traditional hockey market. I don't,
Right.
Absolutely.
I'll always think of it that way, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
That opened up, having all the California teams. It opened up
Yeah.
having the Florida teams. It opened up having Arizona, Dallas, Minnesota moving to Dallas. Like,
You gotta
it-
wonder.
Yeah,
You
It
gotta
opened
wonder
it
if
opened up
Gretzky-
all of that.
if Gretzky didn't play in LA, does the Mighty Ducks movie get made? Because maybe somebody in Hollywood said, "Hey, this hockey thing is pretty cool," and maybe they saw Gretzky playing in LA, and that motivated them and other people to make
Yes.
the Mighty Ducks movies, which
Yes.
in turn, it's in itself led to a hockey team being
So-
formed and an expansion.
So by
Yes.
that,
Countless kids getting into the game.
yeah. So if you want to talk butterfly effect, Gretzky goes to LA. A few years go by. Arizona's awarded a franchise. They still have one.
Gretzky's coaching that
Tage-
franchise.
But I will say Tage Thompson and Austin Matthews, both Arizona products. So
Yes.
Yeah.
and Robertson, SoCal kid.
Yes.
So
this is the thing,
so
right?
butterfly effect. Like
So you take
I get it.
you take the numbers, and then you take all of those things that happened around him, right? There was the concept of hockey players being able to sell not just the game, but products and services through endorsements and things like that. He's probably the first real big name that was selling stuff outside of like hockey equipment. Like there was
Right.
always,
He sold video games. He sold
right,
everything. Yeah.
right.
Well, Lanny McDonald
Wheaties
did a
boxes.
few Hungry Man dinner commercials. Like, let's not
Yeah,
forget
in
here.
Calgary, like whatever. Like nobody saw
He's
him.
in Canada. Come on now.
Yeah, nobody saw him. But
Like you don't have to sell. You don't have to sell hockey to Canadians. Like, come on.
Yeah. I know.
right.
I know.
They have hockey
And-
sticks in Costco.
and if you go up
Just
to
tight.
you go
Yes,
up
I
to
wish they had it here.
you go up to sports, any sports fan that is not a hockey person, they know who Wayne Gretzky is.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Mhm.
absolutely,
that,
without a doubt.
Right. And so all of those things together, right, that tells you what type of player that was, and that he was the greatest player
And-
ever.
Oh yeah,
if
I'm
you-
not disarguing. I'm just more like I look at it from a few different angles, and I like you were saying with like the butterfly effect. Like I fully agree. That's the way you got to look at it. It's not solely points or goals. Like Gretz, he essentially in North America specifically, he put hockey on the map. Like yeah, we had a few decent Americans, 1960, 1980 gold medals, but like Gretzky in LA really kicked it off. So, and kudos to him because then he went to New York, another massive media market too. He was smart.
Here's the
Yes,
thing, though, too.
very
Like,
smart.
you could even so take this argument outside of hockey. Who was the most dominant in their sport ever? Is it Wayne Gretzky, or is it Michael Jordan, or is it Johnny Unitas, or I don't even know a
Yeah.
football
Tiger
guy.
Woods.
But like, is there anybody who is more dominant in their sport than Gretzky? And I don't think that there is. I think Gretzky is just has so many records in the sport and has such an influence on the sport.
The only
I don't even
other
think Jordan.
the only other Jordan
is-
not
is in the
necessarily
same
because like
sphere.
basketball's changed a little bit. It was a little tougher, a little more tough when Jordan played. But like I would say some of the Tiger stats, like they did the match.
Jordan
So,
had
like
6 championships.
he did exactly. He's a
Gretzky
winner.
Does that
had
come
5,
into-
I think 5.
No, he only had
No, 4.
four because he got traded and then Edmonton beat him and then ended up winning. That was a Bill Ranford year in Edmonton.
Hockey's also a little
like,
bit more of a team sport than basketball.
Tiger had 683 weeks
You
at
could
world number 1. Like, no one's going to touch that ever in the history of the world. It's not being touched. Gretzky's stats, like, goals may fall, but I don't see assists. I don't. And the only person I could kind of see, like, taking a sniff maybe at Gordie Howe is Connor McDavid. But, like, Connor's a little behind because he hasn't hit, I think he got like 50 last year, right? But I think before that, he hasn't. So,
He's so sick.
He's on pace for like 77 million goals this year or whatever it is. But yeah, yeah, like NHL 22 stats, like Aaron's playing be a GM mode. He breaks Gretzky's record 1 year, his rookie year.
Yeah.
But
Right.
Can we talk about Tage Thompson's 5-goal game?
Yeah, we should talk about that. That's pretty incredible.
beer league stuff, huh?
Yeah. It's pretty impressive. Isn't he like 6'7" or something like that? Like he's a really big guy.
Yeah, he's a big boy.
Right? That's kind of like that's different like seeing like somebody that big kind of move the way he does.
Athlete, baby. Athlete.
Athlete.
He's 6'6", 220 pounds.
Jesus.
Damn, he's a beast.
Did he have 4 of his goals in the first period?
Yes.
Yes, I saw
Jesus.
that.
Like what the hell?
Nuts. That's
Must
when
have
you're
had-
just like in the first intermission, you're like, all right, guys, you can take it
Yeah,
from
just
here.
fucking
I've
pass
done
it to
my
him.
part.
must have got the good coffee.
Yeah, the Timmy Hortons.
Yeah.
The Timmy hose.
You just got to remember, though, like that was part of the package that Buffalo sent to St. Louis for Ryan O'Reilly. So Buffalo doesn't look as crazy now that they got Tage out of it.
They got him for Ryan O'Reilly.
Yeah.
Hmm.
So
Not bad.
Yeah,
bad.
but Ryan O'Reilly, like,
He was proven, and Tage
Conn Smythe
I've
winner
never
and
heard
Stanley
of
Cup
him
winner
this
too.
year.
Yeah.
helped them.
I
Oh,
was
that's
gonna
what I'm
say,
saying.
Cup.
It's like that's one of the few trades you break it down a few years later. You're
It's
like, oh
even.
man, like
Hey, even trade.
both teams look
Right.
like they
Yeah.
got
Well,
something here.
I think the Tage Thompson thing is more about the recent contract, though, that, they threw some money at him. And I think a lot of people questioned it. And now they're starting to see that, hey, he might be worth the deal.
Yeah.
That talent might be worth the deal. So I just think it's funny that he has a 5-goal game and didn't even get first star of the week for the NHL.
Oh no! Oh no!
Yeah.
How does that happen?
They
Who
gave
got
it
first
to
star?
Charlie Lindgren.
yeah.
Who?
What?
Exactly.
Man.
Jesus.
He went,
Ovechkin's just busy
he went-
burying empty netters, and they give it to like goalie.
he went
Gosh.
4-0 and had a 94+% save
Yeah, that's pretty good.
percentage over the week.
Decent.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, not bad.
And my
You gotta
boy
give
Willie,
love to goalies sometimes. You know,
Big
You gotta give
Willie.
love to goalies.
Big Willie was the other star, using his Sherwood stick, using a Sherwood one piece.
Is he
Yeah, he got it
really?
from Costco.
Yes, yes.
You got it.
Actually, I will say,
Little shout out to the Discord. Folks.
yeah, we were talking about gear actually a little bit last night after pickup. It was kind of interesting. Like Willie's been using a Sherwood the last couple of weeks, and then you've seen like the who is it? Matthew Tkachuk down in Florida. He's using Sherwood gloves and sticks. The Brinkat in Edmonton's using sticks and gloves from Sherwood. So Sherwood's making a little bit of a comeback.
They must have
Little
been
bit.
watching my tape, seeing me in my Sherwood gear.
Oh, I haven't.
That's what it was. They
Aaron,
saw you on
yeah.
Live Barn.
They saw
They saw you on
Aaron.
Live Barn.
They saw me on live,
Tearing
bar.
up pickup.
Fucking up in pickup. Yeah.
They saw Aaron in his cul-de-sac with his green biscuit. They're like, man, we got to get those Sherwood twigs, baby. We got to get those things. So,
I've been on that Sherwood train for a long time. I've had Sherwood gloves for like 12 years or something, and I've got 2 Sherwood sticks that Daniel sold me for $40 each.
When I was first starting to play hockey, I wanted the gloves that Peter Bondra wore, and he was wearing Sherwoods at the time. So my first 2 pairs of gloves that I used on ice were Sherwood. And I used Sherwood sticks for a little bit. And then I had a Titan.
What was it, the 50-30s?
No,
yeah,
I
the
didn't.
5030 SC
I didn't
was the wood
have-
one that everybody had.
Mine was I don't know which number it was. We couldn't get them. Like it was hard to get, like in this area or something. I don't know, but I had something off the rack, and it was like painted black.
Is it
You know,
Bauer?
with the white. No, it was Sherwood. White
Sherwood?
white
Was it
Sherwood
was it the
lettering
coffee
and
curve, which
stuff.
was like a hook?
I used the Euro.
Okay.
Oh, the European.
Yeah, I had like
Yeah.
I had
Yeah.
almost like a flat blade Bauer. I used for wood sticks. I used like a black Bauer.
Well, that's
forget
because you
what
used
they
the
were.
might stick. You used the
Yeah,
Lemon
I used
stick.
I used a flat blade for a billion years, and then I used branches. These branches for a little bit,
branches.
just the
were good.
blades, and I used a TPS, like the TPS shafts. TPS.
So then
rubber.
I
The
started
rubber.
switching to like all Cooper and Bauer stuff. So then when Bauer's sticks like actually got good, I started using their wood ones. So yeah, they were basically the same as the Sherwoods. But yeah, it was it was a wild time. Wood stick.
Wild time. man.
People are whittling our fucking sticks out of
Yeah.
wood.
You had to know like what tree the wood was from. Like there
Is
was
this
like
ash or
there was like
cedar?
no seriously there was like white
Yeah.
ash sticks and there was like whatever.
Sherwood was
whatever, like-
predominantly
yeah,
ash.
Yeah,
Sherwood was big ash.
It was.
Had a big ash.
Yeah. Was there? Did you guys ever use a stick? Like whether it be now, when you were younger or whatever, like you got it in your hands and you were like, I fucking hate this.
Yeah, it's a stick I sold to Aaron.
Yes.
yeah. I actually said
The
that
Sherwoods,
initially.
okay.
That Sherwood's the one that I didn't like, and then a week or so later, I bought it from.
So when they had, it was like
Now I love
it was the Easton Stealths, not like the red and blue ones. It was when they had the black with the silver at the bottom. I had one of
Yeah,
those
yeah,
in
I
the
remember
curve
that.
I wanted, the
Mhm.
Drury. I hated that stick. Hated it.
Should have given it to Daniel. He was using those exclusively for a while.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Danny was. Well, we used different curves.
Well, I had the Psycor, remember?
Yeah,
Oh,
Danny
you
had a
the
Psycor.
The
Psycor,
orange.
yeah.
He was the man.
The orange
Yeah.
one, yeah.
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 Ooh.
Needed it,
dope.
right?
Yeah, and I broke it. I would like play with it like 2 games and break it.
Break them. Yep. It's come a long way since then.
Hell yeah.
It's a good
Yeah, now
thing.
you use them 3 games and they break.
Yeah.
I actually haven't broken a stick
Oh, you're
Whoops.
screwed now.
like
Yeah.
like
I was
like
Whoops.
like snap like snapped a stick in game in probably like 5 years.
Yep.
I was
well,
gonna
like,
say it's
The
been a long time
insides
since I've seen
the
that happen.
insides like the insides break down before the outside.
Make
now.
sure you bring 2 sticks to next
Yeah.
game.
Yeah.
I always have to. Always have to. Now, for a while there, I know I was like playing like I don't know half a season, and like the blade would just boop while you're playing, just fucking fly off. Like, god damn it! Hey, did you guys see the fight in the Paralympic game the other was it like a few days ago?
It was like last week, I think. Yeah, between USA and Canada.
Yeah,
Yeah,
brawl. Line brawl.
dude, they were fucking going at it.
It was
yeah.
violent. Like
It looked way more like risky and like dangerous than a normal hockey brawl.
right, usually everybody squares off, right? Like
Right.
if it's standing hockey, everybody squares off and they have
Yeah.
their partner and they fight and then they get tired and they stop.
Right.
These guys, and of course it's USA Canada, right? So the rivalry and all that. These guys they would grapple and fight and then stop and then grab somebody else and grapple and fight and then grab somebody else and grapple and fight. It was like I think all 10 guys there all went around and fought each other at some point
Yeah.
between the
It
two
seemed
teams.
like it, yeah.
And it was violent. Like
I forget who said it. They were like, the ref is having a hard time breaking it up because of like the sled getting in the
right.
way.
I don't
It was
think
it was pretty dangerous. Yeah.
yeah, I don't know who said it, if it was one of us or if it was a comment on the actual social media posts, but I don't think they knew how to deal with it.
Yeah.
And that, to me, that's kind of a problem. You know, if the officials don't know how to step
Yeah.
into situations like
Yeah.
that, no matter what whether it's standing hockey, sled hockey, blind hockey, like whatever it is, if they don't know how
right.
to step in and handle those situations, that's, a problem for whatever governing body is sanctioning the event or whatever you want to call it. But somebody could have gotten really, really hurt with the way that they were fighting. Like you could see the hatred in the punches that were being thrown and the faces. You could see
the emotion. Yeah.
Guys wanted to hurt each other. It looked really bad.
This is a normal hockey game.
Who ended up winning that game, though? I actually didn't see who won the actual game.
US did, didn't they? Didn't they win that event? That event that week? Didn't they win? Pretty sure.
I think USA were on a roll right now because we did the women had the rivalry series with Canada and we swept them so far. We're on a roll.
As he drinks his beer.
As I sip the beer. As opposed to the tea.
Yeah, right.
But that's none of my business.
That's none
of my business.
All right, so put episode 122 in the books. Thank you for your listen. We appreciate all the support we get, especially yours. You've made it this far. Please consider giving our podcast a rating or a like or review or subscription on your podcatcher. That helps us out. But what helps us out even more is if you tell your friends and your teammates and everybody that you know about our podcast, if you think they might be interested, give them a push in our direction. But either way, thank you so much for your listen today. We appreciate it. Have a good week, and we'll catch you next Wednesday.